Hey guys, there's a lot of Jurassic World Rebirth news, and there's a lot to go over, so let's just hop right into it. First up, we have Empire Magazine releasing the Jurassic World Rebirth covers, and this release is May 8th, I'm pretty sure. And we can see on the left there's a drawing of the DRex, which is now officially named the Distortus Rex, I'm pretty sure. And on the right we have the Quetzalcoatlus attacking Zora Bennett. And one interesting thing that I've seen with all of these is I knew like all these were mutated somehow. Now it looks like we're gonna have even more mutants, and I don't even think there's a real animal on this whole island. They're all mutated in some way. The first Empire Magazine like photo we got, because we did get a few, is Zora Bennett in this tunnel. Now we did see the scene in the trailer, and it does look pretty good. My theory is that this is a weird theory. I think that Zora Bennett's actually the bad guy, because in an interview it said that Martin Krebs, the actual like guy that takes him on this trip, is not your stereotypical, InGen type of guy like the Eli Mills in Fallen Kingdom. And if that's the case, thinking that, it's a cliche, it's him, maybe it is Zora Bennett who's the bad guy, and we'll get into that a little bit later so I can back up my theory. Next, we have a picture of Dr. Henry Loomis in that cafe that we saw leaked a little bit ago, and I think that's Martin Krebs in the back right there. We can see dinosaur skulls on the top, and the whole Megalodon-like set that was teased a while ago for a set piece. Here's another picture I thought was very interesting. We have Gareth Edwards talking to I don't really know who that is, but we see the huge, that Parasurolophus is massive in the back. It's like a Brachiosaurus size. We can see its guts ripped open, and here we can see really like, it is a pretty big Parasurolophus. I'm pretty sure this is going to take place during the river raft scene, and in which case it is a pretty cool prop, and it is the prop that was very first leaked, and it's cool. I can't really say anything against it. It's pretty cool. And also in the Empire Magazine, it says that, so David Kep says, and that's not all. As well, the DRex, we meet the winged Mutantons, which means there's another mutant, and it's a combination of a pterosaur and a raptor. Now this is really weird, and I think this is probably what the poster that got leaked for CinemaCon was a little bit ago. You can see that weird sickle claw because it doesn't look quite right. This is probably going to be the Mutanton, and you can see that Andrew J. Salazar describes how they are, and they're huge butt raptors with no feathers and pteranodon wings for arms and skin membranes. Now what skin membranes, I have no idea. But they walk with their hands folded like a chicken, so probably like this, when they aren't flying. So they do fly, and if I'm being honest, I don't know how to feel about this, because to me it sounds like, oh well, we used up all the time for dinosaurs, let's just add dragons. To me this is really, really weird, and I'm not necessarily a fan of this whole Mutanton thing. I'm just gonna have to see how it plays out, but yeah, I cannot say I'm a fan of this. I mean, cool and all, mutants in a Jurassic movie, like, we've had hybrids, but come on, man, like, it's taking up screen time for the dinosaurs, these random monsters, and now you have dragons, not to mention that weird thing about the fire-breathing T-Rex we had earlier. That was a mess, and that's not even completely disconfirmed yet. Here we can see that the DRex on the bottom is named Villain 1, and that's why I brought up the Mutanton, because that is Villain 2, and that is not even a good name. I don't like this idea. And I've said this exact same thing for the DRex, is that I don't like this idea of a mutant in a dinosaur film.
Is this mutant thing? What the heck? Why is there a mutant in Jurassic World? I don't have words for how much I hate this. You cannot convince me that this is from Jurassic World. Jurassic Park. I would not believe it. And I still don't. I still have no idea the direction they're trying to go with this.
Now, is there anything I can do? No, there is not. I'm sure they'll still make it pretty good. I don't like it in a dinosaur movie, though, and I've said that for a while. I don't like this idea of mutants in a Jurassic movie.
Why is there a mutant in Jurassic World?
Now, while I'm warming up to the DRex, we have another mutant. Like, can we take it one at a time here? But am I complaining? Yeah, I'm gonna complain because I'm not a fan at all. And speaking of the DRex, we have an official look at the DRex in a Mattel toy that was leaked for the Smith's website, I'm pretty sure. And it looks like crap. It does not look good. I'm not a fan of it. I never was a fan of it. And I don't think I'll ever be a fan of it. I don't care how they play it out in the movie. I just don't like it.
Why is there a mutant in Jurassic World?
Now, am I saying it won't be good in the movie? No, that's not what I'm saying. I just don't like that there's a mutant in a dinosaur movie. Like, this is not... I don't even know what this is. And it's supposed to be bigger than a T-Rex. And I actually photoshopped this, and you can tell because I did a horrible Photoshop. And this idea was going around, people photoshopping the head off and the arms off. And I went ahead and tried, and I didn't do a great job. But you can see how it is just... The face looks like the Indominus. If I'm being completely honest, it just looks like a complex Indominus with a beluga head and extra arms. And I'm just not a fan of it. I mean, I'm excited to see how it plays out, but again, I'm just not a fan. And along with the Mutantons, like, I cannot get around this mutant idea. But I'm not really here to give my opinions. I'm here to give you guys the news. Now we can see that... Yes, this is where I was getting at. We can see the mutant attacking the dude. And someone described the CinemaCon trailer... When the trailer played at CinemaCon, that the person on the left is actually Zora Bennett. Now, this is going to sound crazy. But if we believe the leaks, which the leaks have been pretty spot on so far... Like, I didn't believe this thing would ever be in a Jurassic movie, but it is. So, you gotta give it credit for that. If the leaks are real, and if that is Zora Bennett on the left, then I do believe that Zora Bennett will be the main antagonist in this movie, and Martin Krebs is gonna be, like, the most suspicious, but it turns out that he's actually good, and Zora Bennett's the bad guy, I guess. Because someone said at the CinemaCon trailer, the person on the left is Zora Bennett. And if that's so, then she is probably hiding here, not from a dinosaur, but from a person. And I know that's a stretch, but, you know, it might be true. Now we can see a new look at the Mosasaurus, kind of how I expected it to look. It does look really good, but not too much new there. And here are all the dinosaurs, or not the dinosaurs, the toys that got leaked the other day. And I know it's a lot. You guys can pause and take it in. I'm not really going to go over it. I'm going to go over one in particular. But it's cool. I'm probably going to buy a few of these because, you know, I do like dinosaur stuff. But yeah, I thought they were pretty cool, especially the Spinosaurus. You can see on the bottom middle there and the top right. This is the one I wanted to talk about. This one with Duncan Kincaid and the new Velociraptor that was leaked. Now this is a leaked design, and I thought it was pretty cool. And the description actually reads that this same Velociraptor has an interaction with Duncan Kincaid. Now whether that means it kills him, I'm not too sure. But we also saw at the CinemaCon poster that, okay, this is probably the DRex, but we can see Duncan Kincaid in his cool outfit squaring off with a dinosaur. And if Zora Bennett was squaring off with a Mutanton, I don't see why this can't be a Velociraptor. And I'm not talking about the poster, I'm talking about like the actual scene that goes down, because this is probably the mutant. But I did think that was really cool, and I'm excited to see how that plays out. I'm excited to see how all of the scenes play out with the dinosaurs, not really with the mutants. These are kind of old, but renders of the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex. And as we're closing in more and more news, we can see that more and more of the leaks were pretty real. You can see that Quetzalcoatl, I don't remember where I got this picture, but it was downloaded over the summer, I'm pretty sure. Look at that T-Rex. It looks almost identical to the T-Rex we have now. That Velociraptor looks pretty dang similar to the one that got leaked. It's white, it has that colored snout. Then you see the Quetzalcoatlus, it's spot on to the one we see now. The Titanosaurus has the same frills in the same place. We can see the DRex with the same long arms on the ground in this kind of the same position, but this one looks more like a dog than it does a dinosaur. We can see the Parasurolophus, the one from the Minion, in this movie. We can see a Triceratops, which I heard was leaked, but I'm not too sure, and I'm not going to tell you something if I don't know. We can see the Spinosaurus, which is a little bit more paleo accurate, is more on the bluer side, which it's actually yellow and gray, but still the short neck. And we can see the not paleo accurate, but the more accurate, less rigid Mosasaurus with the flippers and the very long tail with the fin on top like we see in the trailer. Now to close stuff off, we do have a Dr. Pepper Jurassic World collab coming out on the 15th, just in a few days, for Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm excited to try these. I'm going to try and get all the cans when I can. But I think that's all the news I have for you today, just to kind of keep you updated. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.